Well, hello again. It's Steve. Welcome back to another true police story. Despite the fact that I mentioned it in the very first video, I'll repeat it. If you are of a disposition where you are easily offended, please don't go any further. Rather than watch it and then send me disrespectful comments. So these were different times. I'm not for a moment suggesting that it's anything else and that it would be acceptable today, because it probably wouldn't, but it's what happened. So if you don't like it, please don't bother watching. Not that many of you do, but I was kind of expecting that. So, for my subscribers and those of you that have sent me nice comments, here's police story number 5, I think. So, I told you in the last one about the fact that I decided that it would be a good idea to be a firearms trained officer. Don't ask me why. So, doing the training, I quickly discovered that I'd have probably more luck throwing the gun at somebody than actually hitting them with a bullet. Standing just a few feet away from a target, I still managed to miss. But I scraped through. Now, half the training is about marksmanship and the other half is tactics. So we spent a couple of weeks at West Malling Airfield, which at the time was not being used for anything. It's now Kings Hill, I think they call it. And we practiced in the old RAF huts. These are buildings that have long been abandoned, not in any particular use, and so they were ideal for practicing scenarios. So the first scenario, we were split into 2 groups. There were probably about 8 in each group, and one lot were the terrorists and the other lot were the armed police officers. And the idea was that the terrorists had taken over a building and the police were being called upon to storm the building and rescue hostages, etc. We used the Smith & Wesson Model 10 with wax blanks. So when they impacted, a bit like paintball, a splodge of wax appeared. We were specifically told not to aim for the face, although we all had masks on. So, straightforward, you're the police, you've got to go in and clear it. So, we were the terrorists on the first occasion. We all positioned ourselves up in these rooms, behind obstacles. Most of these things were sort of long corridors with rooms off to the left and the right. And it was ideal for hiding behind a door or a doorway, popping your head out, shooting, and so on. So the police came in, they did everything right, armed police, throw out your weapons, come out with your hands up, etc. And we as the terrorists kept shooting till we'd all been eliminated bar one. Absolutely lovely places. I'm just exploring my local area and just found this really beautiful spot. I don't know if you can see, but yeah, probably if I do that. Absolutely lovely. Anyway, so yeah, we'd all been killed off, and once you've been killed off, you could stand up and watch what went on. So there was only one terrorist left. Police shouted out, armed police, put down your weapon, throw it out and come out with your hands up. The terrorist came out running, shooting and what have you, and he was shot by the police. And that was the correct thing to do. Then we turned around. It was us now that were the police. And this was later in the course, you know, we had other scenarios, so we'd more or less forgotten the beginning scenario. And so, yeah, we were the police, so we went in, virtually the same as before. Everyone had been eliminated bar one, and he was at the back poking his head out, popping off the shots and what have you, shouting out, come and get me and all the rest of it. And anyway, he came rushing out and we all shot him. He was absolutely covered in wax. The only problem was he had his hands up and he was shouting, "I give up, don't shoot me." But it happened so quickly that, you know, everybody was on edge with a gun, and we all shot him. So lesson learned, that was incorrect. We will acknowledge that fact. But anyway, that's story number 6.